A 6-inch diameter, stop right there, nobody likes diameter. A 3-inch radius cylindrical hole is drilled through this cube, which measures 10 inches on each side. What is the volume of the solid? What's the surface area? Let's do volume first. Let's do it in purple. So we're going to start with the volume. If I wanted to know the volume of this cube, I would basically find the volume of the cube minus the volume of the cylinder, because we drilled out a cylindrical hole. Okay, we'll take care of surface area later over here. So the volume of this cube, that would be 10 times 10 times 10. No surprises there. That's 1,000. And then we're going to subtract away the volume of a cylinder, which is pi r squared h. So let's figure out some things. We do know r, by the way. So 1,000 minus pi times the radius squared. What's the height of this cylinder? Okay. So from circle to circle, basically how far is that? Well, it's the same as the depth of the cube, which would be 10. All right. You could get crazy on it here, and you could divide a 10 out of both of those, factor it out. Not divide it out, factor it out. Put it in the front, but we're not going to. Instead, we're just going to type 1,000 minus pi times, that's 9 times 10, so that'd be 90. Could have put 90 pi. That'd be a little more mathematically correct, but, you know, whatever. Who cares about correctness? 257, and we are dealing with inches, so that would be cubic inches. Ah, fun times. Now let's find surface area. Gets even more fun with this one. You thought you were having fun. Surface area. Surface area. All right, here's our surface area. The surface area is going to be, and it's going to be fun. It's going to get a little sloppy, actually. It's going to be basically the surface area of the cube. And so I'm going to get a little crazy, and I'm going to pretend like that hole's not there. So we're going to say the cube surface area. But then there's some stuff we need to subtract and add. So I also need to subtract 2 circles, right? Because we drilled a hole. So like if I'm saying, oh, what's the area of this square? Well, okay, well, 10 times 10, fine. But I drilled a hole in it, a cylindrical hole. And there's a hole there. There's a hole on the other side too. But I also have the surface area, and the surface can be on the inside in this case. I don't know why I sang that. But then we're going to deal with this like tube. I almost called it a lateral tube, but it's the equivalent of the cylindrical part of a cylinder. It's the, here, let me grab my water bottle. It's the stuff around the edge. It's not the tops and bottoms. So there's that on the inside. So if I had to paint this, I'd be like, I'll paint all 6 sides except for these 2 circles, but I will have to paint the inside of this tube. So I'm going to have to add a little bit, and that's going to be this part that is the, you can call it cylindrical tubing. I'm just going to call it the tube. There you go. What's the volume of a tube or surface area of a tube? We'll get there. Okay, surface area of a cube in this case is 10 squared. Oh my goodness, there are 6 squares. However, I'm missing 2 circles. That'd be pi times the radius squared. And I also have to add the little tube part. Now, if we go way, 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 way back to surface area, the surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r squared. That's the circle on the top and the bottom. And then plus 2 pi r times h, and that's the stuff around the edges. That's the lateral wrapping. And that's what we're dealing with. So plus 2 pi r h. Now, 2 is built into the formula for this tube. Okay? So we've plugged in some numbers, like there's your radius. Well, your height's also 10. We've been through that. So we have a situation here. We can start working on this. So 600 minus, let's see, 9 times 2, 18 pi. Plus 2 times pi times radius times height is 10. And we'll keep going with this. 600 minus 18 pi. And that's 6 times 10, so plus 60 pi. We can go ahead and put these 2 together. They are like terms. This would actually be in terms of pi. So we don't have pi in the first term, but we do in the others. In previous problems, I've been like, let's just type the whole thing in. Get some decimals. Dadgummit. But in this case, this is in terms of pi. And it's gross, but it's right. And it's all this square inches. However, let's be gross about it. Let's get some irrationality going on. 731.947. square inches.